Welcome back, Captains. This is my second part of my Winter 2018 for Star Trek Online. I want to go ahead and knock this one out because it's fairly simple. I wanted to talk about a couple of things. As you see, I've already decked my captain out in some winter clothing. The things you need for this map, basically. Some of the bigger things you will need, of course, is the baubles to buy things in the store. This is probably the second reason to come here. The first being the ship. The second is to buy the items. And they cost differing amounts of the various types of things that they have. Let me grab some real quick. I turned a bit back in so I could do some more characters. There we go. Okay. Just so we can see what we're doing. Like I said in the first video, the first thing you really want to purchase if you can is the frosted boots. This requires 15 each of the common items. So it's not too expensive.
A wise man can hear profit in the wind.
And he's annoying, but you get used to him after a while. Okay. But yeah, it costs 15 each. For that, highly recommended. Out of the store, the pets are, if you want them or not, it's like these are, I don't really do the pets much. I have some, but I don't really find a need for them. Most of these, actually, I know for a fact the Snowconian pet and can't remember, a snowman pet. And if I'm not mistaken, all of these will only be active and can only be used during this event. Once it's done, they stay static. So you can pull it out, but it doesn't do anything. It's almost like Frosty the Snowman. He's only good for a little while. Alright, I'm actually... Options, audio, that is ambient, I think. Because after a while they get really grating. Alright, Wonderland gear. This is your weapons. These are only usable in this map. Your normal weapons are disabled. So you eventually, for most of the missions here, you will need at least one of these weapons. Let's see.
You is a genius. So.
Okay, it wasn't ambient. Voice, that's it. I can turn ambient back on. Ah, that's the wind. Okay, now maybe they won't say anything. Alright. Let's see, the Carmel Assault is a AoE weapon. It fires a hot caramel. Sort of slow to recharge, but it's all in all it's a pretty good weapon. Snowcane Batleth, Lollipop Lurpa, the Swordfish Blue and Red are melee weapons. Of course, Batleth, Lurpa, and swords. The Snowblower is probably one of the better ones. And it's basically just that. It's a giant tank on your back, and it blows snow. It's one of the better ones. Hail is basically dual pistols. The big one is a scatter volley type weapon, so basically a shotgun. Flurry is an auto rifle. Avalanche is the high beam. Freezing Mist, if I'm not mistaken, is the same as Split Beam. Impaler is the same thing as a sniper rifle. And I can't remember what the unrestricted aggression is. Then you have basically some turrets. The Shaved Ice Gateway is a nice one. Shaved Ice Flurry. And you can actually have multiple ones of these out at once. The Shaved Ice Turret is just like a turret that oh man, brain's going. No, basically these are the same turrets as a. Man. All right, my brain has fried. Engineering, wow. These are similar to what engineering captains and bridge officers can deploy, but anyone can use them. So the turret and the mortar, both of these are excellent weapons. They come out, I think, for, does it say? I think it's like 90 seconds, and then it has like a 2 or 3 minute cooldown. Or is it 5-minute cooldown? You know what? Let's go ahead and get the mortar. And then I can look. And all weapons are disabled up here. Just going to come over here to get out of the way. Wait for the cooldown to finish. Alright, when you deploy it, creates a mortar. 5 minute. So 5-minute cooldown once it's deployed. And I think it has a 90-second timer on it. But this is one of the weapons you can use against codes of conduct, the Crampiri, and the Snowborg. So you definitely will need that during those times, and also for the when the snowmen come alive, snowball fight. It's very useful. I am using the Flurry because to me it's one of the better weapons. Has a good spread, so you can hit multiple characters at once. I went ahead and purchased the enhanced Nanopulse Lerpa in a blue variety. And you can't see it here, but normally it will glow blue at the ends. But you can't use it here, but that one can be used anywhere else. The Flurry is active in this area only. Let's see. More things that you really need. You definitely need a weapon. If you'll notice, like right down here, there are snowballs. There are snowballs all over the place. You can pick them up and throw snowballs one at a time. That is an option, especially if you don't have enough of the baubles to purchase a weapon yet. So that's one option. It's not a good option, but it does work. The best thing to do, honestly, is come to your duty officers. Under the current map, of course I have nothing right now, I've got some running, but you can get these different type missions that will award the baubles. It will vary depending on how successful it is. You'll get usually 4 of totally random type on these. So if you crit, you can get a lot more than that. It is best to run this on several characters, actually. Usually the way it works, they're on 4-hour cooldowns. There's a couple that are longer, like this one's 22-hour. Actually, I think it was 24-hour on that one. But most of these are a 4-hour cooldown, and it will change. The sector updates will change. I have found that generally, like this is a Federation character, I have 5 missions available this go around. When I loaded up some of my Klingons, they only had 1 mission. So it varies on which faction and how many you get, and usually it seems to swap around. So the next 4 hours, Federation will have very few, and the Klingons will have more. But it's always best to just run this on several characters, and you'll get these things in no time. That's the fastest way of doing it. Well, not the fastest, but that's the way to get the most, actually. If you run any of these events, the Cones of Conduct, the Klingon Ice Fishing, the Kempiri, you will always get a random number of these. Usually not a lot, and it takes a while to get them. But once you start getting them, once you get a weapon, it gets much easier. So actually, I'm just going to bring up the store from my character. But there are various costumes. You can right-click to see what it looks like. The new ones this year are here. Basically, they're just shiny versions of older. So there's all different types, all different colors. Most of these you cannot change the color at all, so what it is, it is. So this was like one of the original ones, the long coat. Usually there are 3 varieties. You have a long, you have a short, like this, which is what this character currently has. She has on the short version. And then there's a cropped, which is available only for females, and basically it's just that. It is a cropped version. Scroll down and find one cropped. There we go. So basically you get to see the belly a little bit. Like I said, ground equipment, you want at least 1 weapon, and preferably one of the extras. Caltrops are just that. They're little candy canes that get thrown on the ground and slow down things. So these are great for the Borg, the Frozen Borg missions. Here are the weapons. These are weapons that are usable outside of the zone. You got basically 3 different types of Lurpas, a green, blue, and red. 3 types of Batliths, same thing. You have the Netapulse Mek'leth, and then this was the new one this year, the Netapulse Edged Batlith, retro style. And they look really cool. Basically, it's lightsabers in Star Trek. They don't make the buzzy sound, but most of them deal plasma damage. So these are not good against Borg. Borg will adapt to them. These are not, while they are melee weapons, they are plasma melee. So take that in mind, is that if you have this and you're fighting Borg, they will adapt to plasma. So they will not be as good. And then you got several kit modules. I will not go over this. There are people who actually will do a much better job of this than I could. Basically just look at it and see, hey, is this something that I would like, something that's useful to me? I know some of the good ones, since I play science. The endothermic induction field is basically, instead of setting them on fire, you freeze them. So it's really nice for science captains. The cryo grenade is similar to the plasma grenade, except it's cold damage, similar to what the Breen use. And speaking of Breen, the Cryo Visor Blast. This is usable by anyone as long as you're Rear Admiral upper level, or upper half, so level 45 or higher can use these. And then you have the training manual for some of these that you can train your bridge officers. Vanity pets, if you so like them. And last, starship components. The Cryo Plasma Infused Warp Core and Singularity Core will set for the Breen Absolute Zero set. This is the only time you can get these. So if you're using the Breen set and you want the 4-piece set, this is where you can get it. And then there's some space powers there. So that's about it for the store. One thing you can see up here, this is your winter events. It will show what mission is currently going and which missions are about to start. Codes of Conduct is back in the back. The competitive race, which is about to begin. I will actually run this. Actually, I did run it earlier and I came in first place. I was surprised. Usually the first day, especially as a low-level character, it's really hard to win because there's lots of people and there's lots of ways of increasing your speed that is not available to low-level captains. And I will actually go over that probably in the next video on how to increase your run speed here. The boots, the frosted boots, do not help in this race at all. Matter of fact, they make it worse. They make it much worse because not only are you slipping and sliding on the track, it's adding even less traction. So I do not recommend using the boots unless you're very skilled in this race. Maybe I'll get lucky and no one will show up. Don't see that happening, but... And if you look right here, the way it starts, there's almost 2 tracks. There's a little area here, and then it goes around the corner, and then around. So the thing here, you're going for these. The Winter Epo tags. And you can do this mission here. I'll take you to the Epo person after this. Basically 6 tags per day will get you an Epo. And then you raise the Epo up and you can turn that in for marks. It's not going to give me the option. Usually a pop-up with the option of, do you want to race? This has happened to me before. I don't know if it's because I've already completed the race and managed to get first place that I can't run it this time. I should usually, when the race is back to back, the second race, if you can't race. So I don't know why I can't play this character. Well, that's sad. Well, actually, I will take you on the racetrack since I can't really race, and I can walk it. Basically, what happens is when the race starts, this will drop down, and you will race against other captains. So this is a real race, and you can come down here, and there are various tricks you can do. My thing that I normally do, I will see if I'll go ahead and do a run. But usually I'll come here, just do a jump to skip over that, jump up again to stop. And of course I'll run the entire time. You got to learn when you run, you have much less traction. And yes, I am using a mouse. And that would have probably been out of bounds right there. This race is very, very tight in where you can. Matter of fact, I know for a fact, if you go past that buoy right there, on that side, just a smidgen, you're out of bounds. So various things can happen. You can hit various things that may trick you up, slow you down. Right here is a slowdown, but it's easier to maneuver. And then you come up here, and then depending on what place you are, there will be flags. Actually, there's only one flag. The first one for first place is usually right in the center of this. And it's not who gets there first, it's who grabs it first. There has been, and this is probably one of the biggest contentions for this, is that it is a grab. It is not a, hey, I was there first. Well, you may have been there first, you didn't grab it, or you weren't able to spam the F key or whatever key you may have set up to grab it. So if you miss it and the person right behind you manages to grab it, well, they get first place. Second place, I think, usually appears over here. The third place will appear over here, and then once that's done, the end one will do here. If you get first place, you'll get 12 of these. Second place, 6. Third place, 3. And fourth place and later, 2. And you need 6 per day to run the mission for the EPO. And once you're done with that, you can actually come up, back up here, and over here to the EPO lady. And you can run the research, and the first one you will run will be the Research Winter EPO Tags, which is the one I currently have running. When this mission finishes, I will get a random EPO. Well, that EPO will either be a snow, a mint, a candy stripe, a gumdrop, a sugar plum, a lime, or a cherry. So there's many different types. And there's also epic ones of these. Basically, it's like with bows, with antlers, and all it really does, and actually I can show this right over here, the GPL, the Gold Press Latinum Conversion Unit. You can actually trade in the baubles for 200 Gold Press Latinum each. So there's that if you want to do it. But the Winter EPO trade-in. So depending on what type of EPO you have, you will get various types of marks. This is why it's best to go ahead and just raise it all the way up to Elder, which is the highest. And that will give you, okay, it doesn't say. I think it's 60 marks to get it up to Elder, and if you get one of the like this one, Wild Cherry, Extreme Lime, Sugar Plum with bow. This is what I was talking about. Gumdrop with bow, earmuffs with bow. Okay, so I think these are actually 60. I think you get 60 marks from those, and I think it's 100 for the top. So it's free marks. Just run it. You can run this mission every 20 hours, as long as you have the winter Eppo tags. So that's a good place to supplement. This is actually, again, this character is level 18. I will be using this mission a lot on her to go ahead and fill up my reputation marks. These I've filled up from Starbase 1. Actually, doing that mission is where I've filled these up. I'll wind up filling up the rest eventually. But my goal, because I have already completed all these on other characters, so I have the bonus. So I need at least 625 of each to just complete it up to tier 5, which is at least the minimum you like to do. So my goal is always to get these up to 625 before I hit level 50. And that makes it really easy. Once I hit 50, I just run those missions once a day, and in 20 days I will have my tier 5. Here's some of the different Eppos. That's one with the candy stripe. I think they go pup is the lowest. These are all going to be pups, aren't they? Yep. Pup. I think it's pup, adult, and then elder. I think it's 4 stages. So basically, it takes 5 days technically to raise one from tags all the way up to elder. But once you get this going, if you can keep it going every single day, at the end of the 45 days of the event, so 40 days times 60 or 100 marks, that's a lot of marks from just running a race and turning them in. So that's the other big thing. That's the 3 big things here, basically. Number 1 is the ship, number 2 is the store, and number 3 is the marks from the Eppos. Everything else is usually just for the baubles for the store. Let's see, Klingon ice fishing is next, then the Crampiri, snowball fight, and then Tide of Ice. Oh, I meant to do this last video, but I forgot, so I'll do it now. I said that the frosted boots are useless here. Well, they are for running around, but not here on the ice. This is where the ice fishing goes. So, turn those on, and they act like ice skates. And if you like jump. Alright. Speed. Jump. So you can actually do some tricks. So they're really fun just to play around here. Turn them off. Oh, that's right. I have not done this mission before, so I need to talk to this Klingon here. Learn the ice fishing. Accept. Alright, I can collect a free gauntlet from here. And then you have to equip it. I will equip it instead of my... Oops. Oh, that's right. This is a melee weapon. Alright, now see, it'll give you the little arrow telling you where to... And then just press 1 or 2 or click. Oh, and I got the big one on the first. Yes, they're gummy fish. This was amusing a couple of years ago. And then deposit the fish. And when that gets high enough, then a creature will be called, a big gummy worm will be called. And here we go. We're going to start it. I will run this. But the glove, that's what I meant to say. This is just a basic glove. If you want, once you do this mission, store, where is it? Ah, here we go. You can get an improved or advanced gauntlet. I don't know if they really do much better. They just look a little bit cooler. So I will do that. And equip it there. And there we go. And people are already catching. Use these little spots. Whoa. See how there are fish underneath? That's new. And, oh, got another monstrous fish that eats me. And you can turn on the frosted boots. It does no good when you have the monstrous fish on you, but it does for the others. And combat turns off the boots. Alright, come over here. Medium fish. And basically we're trying to just fill the bar. Yes, jumping helps. Another medium. The more people that are here, the faster it fills up. I haven't decided if pressing 1 or 2 makes a big difference. It doesn't seem to. A large fish. Ah, notice how he's beating the fish. There is some that you have to catch where you actually have to subdue the fish. Like, oh, this one. So press 1, 2, whacks it on the ground. Whack him on the ground again, and there we go. And now I can take him in. And notice I got one of the earmuffs. So you will get random baubles from doing these missions. And you will also get some of these ornament fragments. You can take them to the store. 5 of those will get you a random ornament. almost got it filled. Small fish. That should be it. Swap over to my weapon. Matter of fact, I will put out the snow mortar because we should be getting the gummy worm here. There we go. There's the gummy worm. Targeting me, and he can freeze you if your energy down here goes to completely zero. You will be frozen in place and stuck for a bit, so it's always best to keep moving. See how this person is throwing snowballs. They don't have enough baubles yet probably for a weapon, so they're whoa! And he's down. So swap back to the gloves. See where I said combat disables the... So it looks like about 50 fish to summon it. So, like I said, the more people here doing it, the faster you can do. The more you kill, the better your rewards at the end. Actually, I'm sort of surprised, today being the first day. Usually these events are full, but I guess either a lot of people have already completed everything and they just running one character to get the ship. Because this year there is no new event. These are all old events. So there's nothing new to really bring people in this year. Of course, you know, if this was real ice fishing, by all of us breaking in the ice, we would all be underwater, so... So good, 2 good whacks will put him. Another random item. I'll be turning this video off once I complete the mission. This is actually one of the more fun things here. I highly recommend doing everything at least once. See what you like and don't like. The snowboard are fun. But that's one of those that you definitely need a team for. Let's see. Oops, wrong direction. Let him freeze me here in a second so that... Whoa! That happens occasionally. You get knocked way up here where these snowmen are. Put out one mortar. See how I'm starting to freeze over. Here we go, I'm frozen. So now I'm held while I de-thaw. So he got knocked out, so he got some equipment, and we still have 3 minutes, so back to... back to fishing. Oh, one more thing you do need for this zone is a winter tribble. I almost forgot that. I have one. Technically, he's cooking right. Oh, I've got him finally. To get a winter tribble, it takes. First of all, you have to have just a regular tribble to eat the food, and then you have to get one of these special food items from the winter event. These are available for there's a special queue. It is called Winter Invasion. You can either queue it here or you can queue it up in the main gondola there. There's a special little... I'll stop there in a second after I have this finished. Actually, I don't think we're going to get a third one before the time runs out. Try it anyway. Notice I said there's snowballs all over the place there. See some right there. Matter of fact, I think there are several of them around here because of... Since this is an active combat zone, so you gotta reload those after a while. 39 seconds, and we need about 18 more. Don't think it's going to happen, but... And that's it. See, more snowballs over here. You also, there's a lot of these where you've got snowmen doing various things. You can view them. I've forgotten how many there are exactly, but there's a lot of these. You do them, it will give you an accolade for the zone. They're pretty amusing. This one's a Klingon who's just stabbed a Federation. Got one over here. Doing the same thing. But you have to look. They're all over the zone. And once you get them all, you, like I said, you'll get a accolade for that. But right here is where you can also queue for the winter invasion. So you can either click the Q button and do it here, or do it here. While you are doing this mission, there is an option about halfway through to where a random prize will be, and it will show up on the map. The first person who gets there will get a recipe. And this is what you'll do for the winter food. Once you have that recipe, you'll have to go back here to the village. Oh, there's some more snowmen right there. I'd actually done this in previous years. It was the only reason I happened to have the one to be able to create that. This is a nice tribble because I'll have to replace him. It gives a buff to +5 repel resistance rating for 1 hour, basically. +5 knockback resistance for 1 hour. +5 cold damage resistance. And this is an AoE during the event. See how it'll do an AoE, so it helps a little bit basically with the cold damage. But back here is where you will actually do the cones of conduct. This is the village, and it's back here. I won't actually do that one today. There is a pie eating contest right here where you can do, and you can get, matter of fact, I'll go ahead and do that because it only takes a minute or a minute and a half. Basically, you want to get the littlest pie. You can eat more of them because it is a quantity, not a bigger pies take longer to eat. I find it easier to do the let's say blackberry. Nope, blackberry's over there. Darn it. Lemon. That's the one I want right there. Cherry. Nope. I don't think I've gotten more than 13 of these at once. Yeah, see how much faster it goes with the small one? And that's it. And then once you're done, come back over to the Breen. finished. So see, I got some more. But once you have a recipe, you come over here to Neelix. And actually, I will turn back on.
In strange new ways, and to boldly bake what no one has baked before. If you bring me a recipe from the Winter Invasion, I'll send you to collect the ingredients. Bring them back to me, and I'll reward you handsomely. Let's make a tasty treat together. Save the gingerbread men from those dreadful snowmen, and you may find the recipe to the gingerbread colony.
So that's where you can find the recipes. And then the ingredients, once you get it, will be various places across the map, and they will be highlighted actually with circles, so it's not too hard to go and find them. Like right here at the Crampiri, so this is where the Crampiri is happening, and he moves around the map. So he's moving right now. So, but it does have little circles here. They're usually white, so the best thing to do is once you get the mission, would be to click it and then make that the primary mission. And that'll at least make it yellow. But that's where you can do that. Once you get that, it gives you a random number of one of the Winter Wonderland foods, which can be turned into the Tribble, the peppermint winter Tribble. And I'm going to do one more thing for ending this video, which is already a little bit longer than I planned, but then again I didn't think the ice fishing was going to come up. No, but for the races, if you want to, you can always do them without actually choosing
Is a genius.
the mission. Okay, fragments. 5 fragments. I've got 19, so that's 1, 2, 3. So that just gave me 3 random ornaments from the fragments. So that's another way of building these up. Like I said, the best one is the missions. I'll deposit these back in the bank for another character if they need them, because I have everything, honestly, on this character that I think I will want. Maybe some more costumes. I always got 1 or 2 characters where I like to just give them all the costumes I can get. Like I said, 1 weapon, whether you want melee or the one of your choice. Usually flurry, hail, the snowblower, and the caramel assault are usually the better ranged weapons. And the Q's ornaments are extras that you can use to supplement those. But that's about it for this video. If anyone has any suggestions on something you'd like to learn from the Winter Wonderland, please feel free to comment in the comment section, and I will get to it on the next video. We'll see you next time.